Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to week 3 in ENC1101. We're going to take a look at what's going on this week, including the follow-up to the inquisitive excitement. If you are not 100% done with inquisitive, that is okay, especially with the weather and potential outages and all that good stuff. If you need a little extra time, that's fine. But I do want you to go ahead and do the assignments for week 3. So we're going to talk about those today. And then if you have any other questions or issues or any of that good stuff, please let me know. Of course, we have a holiday this week on Monday, but it doesn't really do much for our online classes. So we'll soldier on through and everything is going to be great. So I'm going to share the screen and we're going to look at the course, including the syllabus and including some tools that you can use to do this week's assignment with. So I'm first going to take a look at the syllabus and we're going to scroll down to the calendar. Just as a reminder, technically last week in week 2, you were to finish the inquisitive to 100%. If you did not, that is okay. Like I said, you can still finish it. I did not have it where it closes, but we are going to go ahead and proceed with the follow-up about grammar and inquisitive and one other activity on summary and paraphrase that can earn you some extra credit. It is a non-graded assignment, but you can earn some points for doing it. So it's also a great start to the kind of thing you're going to be doing when you are incorporating research into your upcoming papers. So it's a good, helpful activity no matter what. All right, so let's look at the module itself. We are still in, we're moving into week 3, but week 3 is directly based off of inquisitive. So you hopefully have not gotten lost from that. So there's 3 things. There's the summary and paraphrase assignment, grammar graphics, and the grammar graphics discussion. So I'm going to go through these one at a time. So the first thing, as I mentioned, was is the summary and paraphrase assignment. And in this particular assignment, you're going to be thinking about what makes something a good source, a credible source, some source that you would actually want to use in a research paper. And there is an assignment sheet that goes with it. So I'll open that in a second, but I'll have to reshare. So let me go over the rest of it and then we'll take a look at the handouts. Your topic is information literacy. There's a template attached for this and you do need to complete it as a Word document. You're going to be doing that with your papers anyway. If you go on beyond one page, you must use page numbers. This exercise is not only to assist in determining creditable sources, but to practice summarizing and paraphrasing. And there is a difference between those two things. Typically, when we are using research in our writing, we're going to use 3 techniques to incorporate that. The easiest is direct quotes, right? We all know how to make direct quotes. We put quotation marks around it. We say who said it. Everybody's happy. But we also don't want to just chain together a whole bunch of direct quotations. So when we are incorporating research into our writing, we're going to be using summary, which is taking something large and boiling it down to its main points, or we're going to paraphrase it, which means we're roughly using the same amount of space to include the same information, but we're putting it in our own words because the way that it was worded was not particularly important. We can include the same information without using their exact words, but we still do credit the source when we do that. So you've got 2 handouts. You've got the document that is the assignment, and then this one is the template that you can use, Information Literacy Sample 2. So let me open both of those. Oh, it's opening it within the thing, so I think you can still see this. Yes. All right, so here's the assignment. Your search topic is information literacy. So you may want to think about other keywords that can help you with that search. And you're going to find 3 sources. 1 is going to be a website. 2 is going to be from a library database, and I'll talk about that in just a second. And then the 3rd is going to be an article from a periodical, or something that you found on Google, but it's a real thing, like something from NewYorkTimes.com or People.com or even OrlandoSentinel.com, something that is a real source, but you are finding it on the internet. So 1 is just a plain website. 1 is an article from a database, which I'll show you how to find in a second. And then the 3rd would be really any article, but it needs to either be from a periodical, so you can use a database, or Google to find it. You're going to cite all 3 articles in MLA format, and I'm going to show you where to find how to do that when we go look at the library information here in just a second. List them alphabetically by the author's last name or by the title if no author is given. Next, you're going to read, evaluate, and compare the articles and answer the following. You don't have to have 3 separate sets of these questions. You would answer them all at once. So what is the main idea of each article? Article 1, Article 2, Article 3. So you'll answer for each one. Okay. Your submission should be in MLA format, which would include the article, the citations, and then the answers to the 6 questions. So let me close this one and show you the sample document. This is pre-set up for you, so you can just type over what's in it. You can save this on your computer and you can type over it. So you'll notice that it has a student name. Up in the header, it has the student's last name and the page number. So when you want to type over it, you just double click and then you can type. You will need to change this to me, Pierce, last name Pierce. ENC1101 is still relevant. And of course, you would update the date. This is titled the Information Literacy Assignment. And then essentially the text is here, and then you just include what you need to include underneath. This has 3 articles that are cited in MLA format. 2 of them were located using the library database, Academic Search Complete, and 1 of them is directly from the internet, which of course matches what is asked for. And then the evaluation, you notice they have included the question and then created their answer in a different color. You can do that if you want to. You can do it another way if you would prefer, but you do want to have it set up like this document. So this is a good resource for you to use. You will need to use the Lake Sumter Library for this assignment. So let me close this out, and we're going to go to the libraries page. So we're going to go to lssc.edu. And then the quickest way to get to the library is just type in /library and hit enter. The main page of the library has everything you need to do for this assignment. And you're going to be starting by clicking on this libraries button, because you don't need the rest of this right now. We'll talk more about what the library offers. But for today, for this week, you're going to click on libraries. You will notice that there is a search bar. So just like if you were going to search Google, you can search the library databases here. You can also pick a library database. If you click on this tab here that says databases, you can select the one you want. The one that was used in the article, in the sample, is Academic Search Complete. Academic OneFile and Academic Search Complete are not only the first 2, but they are also like good general databases. So I'm going to do what the sample did, and we're going to use Academic Search Complete. And we're going to have another search bar. So it's going to make you sign in. If you've already signed in once for the day, it probably won't. But if you do have to sign in, no biggie, just sign in. And then we have, just like I said, another search bar. Our topic, remember, is information literacy, which is one of the kind of well-known topics. So we can click on search, and we're going to find a lot of things that are maybe too advanced. And here we even have things that are not in English. So one of the things that you're probably going to want to do is do some limiting to what you have here. So we do want to make sure it's limited to full text. That's fine. That's already kind of automatically there. We can set a date that is more reasonable than 1976 through 2023. I'm going to move this to let's say 2013. Let's do a 10-year search. That's still a big search. And then you have some other choices. We have things from academic journals. You notice these in academic journals have really long titles. They're very advanced. We also, while we're over here, need to pick a language. We're going to go ahead and say we only want English. That's going to take those out. We can say we only want peer reviewed. I don't care if you use peer reviewed or you use regular periodicals. Most of these at the top are going to be academic journals because, of course, this is an academic library. So feel free to use one of those. If you're finding that these articles are like, I don't even understand what's happening here, then click on the magazines and limit yourself to magazines. These are going to be coming from regular periodicals that normal people read. So a lot of times they're going to be in a more friendly language. So I'm just going to pick the first one. In order to open it, we just click on the title and wait for the computer. And what you get is what's called the library record. So this isn't the article. This is just information about the article. But this is an important page because over here on the right-hand column, you will notice that there is a button that says Cite. So when we click on that, it's going to open a citation collection. We're going to scroll down to MLA, and we're going to copy and paste this into our document. So you don't have to invent the citations for articles that you're locating using the library. They are provided for you. When you want to read the article, which you will do, you click over here where it says full text, PDF full text, and it's going to open the actual article just like it would look in the real magazine. You can scroll through it. You can scroll down. It's got the actual page numbers and everything, just as if you were seeing it in the real magazine or journal. If it was an HTML full text, it would not look like that. It would look like a regular kind of just plain text sort of thing. So you'll see both. Now, how do we cite if it is not one of the, if it's from the internet? Because you are going to be using resources from the internet as well. So let me Google something here and get something we can cite. Let's just do skills. And let's open the first one that we come to. Why not? So this web page is by Skyline College, but there is no author listed. So we need to cite this, this web page, and we do not have an author as we did with the articles. So we're going to go back to the library, and we're going to click on this button, Citation Center. And we're going to open the MLA citation guide. And we are looking for websites. How do we cite a website? And it is on page 8. So we're going to go down to page 8, and there it is. So notice that some of these have authors and some of them don't. So this one is going to be the closest to a sample that we'll use with the article that we just found. So you notice that instead of having no author or anonymous, we just start with the title, and the title is in quotation marks. The next item is the website title, the title of the whole website, and that is in italics. Then we have the URL and the accessed on date. So you will recreate this in your Word document, but with the information for the website that you are actually looking at. So the page title, the quotation mark title, would be for students, information literacy. And then the website title would be Skyline College. Okay. We would copy and paste the URL from the bar. And then, of course, whatever date you're accessing it on. So we're going to be working more and more and more with how to cite sources, but that's what you need to know for now. There are websites like easybib.com and scribber.com that will create a citation for you, and you can certainly use those, especially on this early assignment. The main thing is, though, you do eventually have to learn how to do it. So, because some of those are wrong. So if you're using them, it can kind of send you down the primrose path. So I would use 2 articles from the library because the citations are provided for me. And then I would have the 1 article that is from the website that I would then cite. Okay. So that's what you are doing in the summary and paraphrase assignment. Again, you can earn extra credit for it. It's going to help you with your overall grade at the end of the term. You're also going to have an A+ if you're doing it right away. So I would highly suggest doing it. It is optional, but it is going to be really good practice for upcoming assignments. So let's go back to the module and talk about the other 2 assignments for this week. So one is called Grammar Graphics. In Grammar Graphics, you're going to go think about what you learned from inquisitive. So you're going to look at your inquisitive results page. We did not write a reflection last week, but this is essentially your reflection about how you did. What were the most difficult things for you? Were there certain grammar things that took you longer? You choose the top 3 and do some additional research on those skills. You can use Google, you can use anything you want to do some research on those skills. And for a list of recommended grammar resources, there is a link to a page here. So you can feel free to click on that. I'm not going to click on it. You guys can dig into that for yourself. Once you understand the skills better, you're going to use CANVA, and I have CANVA open. I'm going to show you how to do this. To create a graphic for each grammar skill. So you're going to have 3 pictures when you get done. The best templates for this assignment are comic strip, infographic, and presentation. So you could have 3, or you could have 1 of each. You can do whatever you want to with it, but these will link you to the actual tools in CANVA. So let me just click on I like infographics myself. Let me just click on infographic. Now, I have a fancy paid account, so you will see some templates on here that you would not be able to use. Anything that has a little pro would not be free. So you will no doubt want to use a free account, which is absolutely fine. So I'm just going to pick one. I'm just going to pick this one. All right. So when you open it, it's going to let you edit it. And so we are going to be sharing an infographic about a particular grammar issue. We probably don't need this at the top. So let's just say apostrophes. I have a friend who has a very hard time with apostrophes, so that's what we're going to use. And then in each, you can just keep the art the way that you want, the way that it's on here, or you can change it all out. You could start with a blank infographic if you prefer. I like to pick one that already is kind of attractive, and then I can just change things out if I need to. So I might talk about when you use an apostrophe for possessives, and then I would write stuff in this box. Okay. So you will want to change out the text. And like I said, you could even change out the photos. Sleep mask doesn't usually have a lot to do with grammar, but let's say, let me see about changing that out. To add a photo, you can search in the elements. Let's say I want a picture of a semicolon. instead of a sleep mask. Here's one. This is a pro one, so that one won't work for you guys probably, but you look for ones that don't have the little crown. I don't know what a toilet has to do with a semicolon. I think there's even a way that you can say you only want to have the free ones. I don't want to take too much time up, so I'm going to put one in that isn't free just to make life easier. So I can move this. I can make this smaller. Put it over here. I don't need both of those. And then if I wanted to make it white, I can change that out. So try to have some fun with this. This doesn't have to be gorgeous. It doesn't have to be perfect. When you are done with it, you're going to click the share button, and you can use the link. You would want to change this to anyone with the link can see it. You can copy that link and share it. You can also download, which is what I normally do. I like to have it on my computer, and this is going to say you want to use PDF print. You can change it to JPEG or PNG for a smaller thing, and something you can include in the discussion board. So I'm going to use PNG. We're going to download it, which takes a second. And I'm going to save this in my documents where I can find it again. You can put it on your desktop, wherever you want to put it. And then you're going to use these. You're going to create 3 total. I don't even have a problem if you wanted to put them all on one. That's absolutely fine with me, especially like if it's a comic strip or whatever. But use the templates that are there. And then when you're ready, you're going to share these in this assignment, and then you're going to share one of them on the discussion board. So you want to put them in a Word document or put them in something that you can share. So I would put it in a Word document. Each grammar graphic should explain the skill it covers and give examples. And then for each of them, you can use the same grammar sources if you want to. There's also some additional help here with a resource on Canva and a sample assignment page. You do not have to pay for anything. Please, please, please keep in mind you can use just the free version. My brain just lost that word. So when you have that, you can turn each picture in separately. You can attach various pictures to the assignment, but you can also put them all in a document, like in a Word document, and share it that way if you want. Personally, that's how I would do it, because I think that's easier to share all 3 things. So then the next assignment is related to this assignment. So let me go back to the module. And we'll go to the discussion. Choose one of the 3 graphics. So you only have to pick one for this. Reply to this discussion and include your graphic with the post. You can embed the graphic, or you can put a link. You can attach it. It's got directions on how to do that. And then with the graphic, you're going to write a paragraph explaining your thought process and creating it. How did researching and designing the graphic help you understand the grammar skill better, et cetera, et cetera. Then you will respond to each other. So you need to respond to at least 2 students, include at least 1 positive comment, and give at least 1 suggestion for improvement. So when you're ready to do that, click on reply. In order to put the graphic in, you would click on images, upload the image, and pick the one that we just did. You can click as decorative image. That's a accessibility thing, and go ahead and hit submit. once it's in there, you can resize it. I usually end up resizing things because they're so large, and then write your paragraph below that. I'm going to leave this on the discussion board because those of you who watched the video will understand it. And people who didn't watch the video will be like, what the heck? And maybe they'll ask me a question, and then I'll remind them they need to be watching these videos. So there we go. I'm going to put that up there. So that's it. Those are the 3 assignments. By Sunday night of the end of the week, you would also come back and respond to at least 2 others. And that is all she wrote for week 3. Please do reach out if you have any questions. Let me know. If it's a question about the assignment, please do post it on the Q&A discussion board. I've had some individual questions by email that I think would have been better if everybody had been able to see them. So if you have a how-to question, please use the Q&A board, because that way everybody can get the answer at one time. All right, everybody, take care. Have a great week, and I will see you next week. And I'm sure I'll talk to you in between. Bye, everybody.